All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel. Remember, it's Harmless Dave talking about real music and at times non music related topics and doing it in real time for maybe six, maybe eight people, just like you and just like me. So, on this website called Alternative Nation, this is the headline. Ted Nugent's wife melts down about LA fires. Um, okay, so I watched the Instagram video that features Shemane Nugent, and she was talking about the LA fires. And this is a really short article. Ted Nugent's wife, Shemane, recently shared her thoughts on what caused the LA fires, making a series of false statements. No, she was saying there were coincidences, and they even put that in here. Now, there's a link to the video. If I remember, I'll try to put the link of her Instagram video in the description of this channel. Now, again, folks, remember, I got in a lot of trouble on the other channel. And then I had another channel which got even into more trouble. And hence, this is why my other channel is frozen. This channel is my last attempt at YouTube. I did this for 8 years. This will be going on the 9th year. And I had to start all over again because there are certain things this particular platform doesn't want you talking about because it is a violation of community guidelines. Now, I'm not trying to violate any guidelines by saying that Ted Nugent's wife did not make a series of false statements in her video on Instagram. What she did was speculate. And she said that there were a lot of coincidences. You know what they say about coincidences. She says, why wasn't there any water? Now, they stopped the article right there. They just stop it. That's it. Let me do a screen share here so I can show you. Now, everybody's out for clicks and views. I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of wanting clicks and views because some people will say, well, this just gives you an opportunity to talk about something. Right, because what happened today in the world of classic rock? Really nothing. Eddie Van Halen still hasn't had a tribute concert yet. All right? I'm listening to old Christian music now because I'm so tired of everything. This was in the background last week. A few people were asking me about it. It's Billy Sprague. It's a really good album, 1984. Anyway, let me get on with this here. So this is how they end it. This is tags Ted Nugent. There were a lot of coincidences. That ... You know what they say about coincidences. All right, so she talked about the fact that there was no water. Is that true or false? There was no water in the hydrants. Governor Newsom was confronted by someone, and he basically said, hey, we're going to do better. The mayor, who was conveniently out of town at the time, came back and wouldn't answer questions. And then when she did, she basically said, hey, we're going to do things better. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out what went wrong. Okay, that really isn't doing a lot of good for the people who are suffering now. So, look, the conspiracy theory crowd, which, believe it or not, I am not a member of. I am not a member of direct energy weapons or, controlling the weather to the point where we can just make it rain instantly. Maybe we can. Maybe we can't. I have friends that tell me we can. I have people that tell me you're crazy. I have people on both sides. And you know what, folks? Again, this is why maybe I shouldn't be doing this for too much longer. Because I make enemies where I thought I had friends. I mean, this one gentleman, again, I don't mention people by name. And a lot of times people assume I'm talking about them, which is just classic. You were talking, that was directed. No, it wasn't directed at anybody. But I had somebody who really liked me and then found out I didn't buy into every conspiracy theory that there is, that I didn't like what happened in 2020 and 2021, and even up until today to some degree, what's been going on with a certain product that was sold to everybody as the panacea when it comes to a certain issue that happened in 2020. And I just want truth. I want transparency. And just by asking those questions, I become a crazy conspiracy theorist. All right. I'm not. I'm a normal person who has a family, who cares about my family, and I also care about other people, believe it or not. And when I see weird things happening, I go, we need to stop the weird thing from happening. But the media, much like this article, says things like, well, Dave was making a series of false statements. So again, because I'm supposed to be more harmless than before, I'm just going to let that stand. I'm not making any false statements. I'm just asking questions. All right? I'm asking questions. Now, if you think I'm making false statements, that's on you. That's not on me. In her video, Shemane was asking questions. Do I agree with everything she said? You know, she said some things that I agree with, and then she said some weird stuff like, where's Elon? Elon, I think, moved his operations to Texas. He's not really involved with California. Then she mentioned drones that were on the East Coast, and now there are drones on the West Coast, or there should have been drones. I don't know what drones have to do with anything. Other than maybe the drones can start the fire or put out the fire. I don't think the drones can put out fires. All right. And so, look, I defended her husband, Ted Nugent, for months on end on the other platform. And Uncle Ted was nice enough to actually reach out to me. His people reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to talk to Uncle Ted? I said, sure. And we had a very spirited conversation, and we probably agree about 80% of the time. But sometimes I'm not in this just to talk about craziness. And there's a balance. There's a balance between everything's crazy and upside down and, hey, nothing to see here, move on. That would be phase one. The other side of this would be you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, and shut up. All right? If we don't talk about things, if we don't ask questions, then nothing is going to change, because they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, whatever it is that they're doing. And you know what they say about certain conspiracy theories? It takes about maybe a few months, and the conspiracy theory becomes conspiracy fact, or it becomes more plausible, or people who looked at it that way before as craziness, they turn around, they go, you know what? Those guys were probably right. They're probably right. We don't want to admit it. And of course, the information trickles out slowly and comes out at 5:30 on Friday. And people are at Margaritaville at the time, and they're not watching or listening for that. They don't care. So, you know, again, it's a mixed bag with what Shemaine had to say. The direct energy weapons thing, you know, okay, we know that there is no water. We know that there was a drought. We know that they don't do forestry management. Isn't that already enough here? Isn't that enough to indict the whole thing? Why do we have to continue down this road of, and let me tell you what else happened. You know, little green men, they landed in Nevada and they hitchhiked to Malibu. No, just stop. You know what needs to happen at this point? We need to focus on the people, on the victims. Has anyone checked in on the people in East Palestine, Ohio? Has anyone? Bueller? Anyone? No, huh? Nobody's checked out East Palestine in a while. Has anyone checked in on the people in Western North Carolina or parts of the Gulf Coast? Florida up to Georgia and all these different places that were affected by multiple hurricanes? Well, Dave, see, that proves that climate change is a real thing and you're just a climate change denier. How about we just check on the people? How about instead of sending billions of dollars to foreign countries, how about we keep the money here and deal with the infrastructure issue that we have? Now, again, I'm doing this video on this topic because it's a slow news day, right? It's a slow news day. And I think Shemane is probably maybe taking advantage of the fact that her fan base, the people that follow her on Instagram, have a similar worldview, and they're going to be interested in what she has to say. But I think you need to bring attention more on the victims of these problems, and who knows, these crimes. They could be crimes. And just like the other issue I was talking about a few years ago, it would be nice if we could just get to the bottom of it and fix it, right? We don't have to keep throwing it in everybody's face. We should try to fix it. We shouldn't just make it, clickbait. I know if you solve problems, what happens is then we have no problems to talk about. And that's never going to happen because we live in a fallen world. And people who think that you're going to make utopia, that, if we just elect the person that we want, or if we change a few laws, or we change the Supreme Court, or we do whatever, that's just going to fix it all. No. The Bible pretty much talks about how no one's going to be able to fix this. Only Jesus, when he comes back, can set things right. All right. And if you don't believe in that stuff, then you have no hope. You literally have no hope because things will never get to the point where it's utopia. We're always going to struggle. But the whole point of this video is to say enough with the wasteful talk about this on either side, and let's focus on the people in California. I will put a link to the Shemane Nugent video. I'll also put a link over to Salvation Army if you want to help with what's happening there. Even if you give $1 or $2, you don't have to give the money to me. All right, don't give it to me. I'd rather have you give it to the people who really need it. This channel probably, at some point, I'm going to have to do something else with my time because rebuilding this whole platform from the ground up, it's more challenging than I thought it would be. And for some reason, people aren't finding these videos, especially based on viewership. And again, I'm talking about different things now. I've just kind of given up on some of the stuff I was talking about. And I'm finding old records that I really enjoy. And this is one of them. Billy Sprague, what a way to go, right? 1980, the album is over 40 years old. But I got it in the mail the other day, and it was fun to listen to. I don't know. I get tired. I'm really fatigued. I'm tired of all of this stuff. And at some point, it would be good if Jesus came back. It really would be better than just experiencing this information war. And the truth always loses in the information war. And I hate that. So, in any event, folks, on that happy note, thanks for watching. If you do want to help this channel, there'll be ways to do that. I'm not giving up completely on that. Also, watching the videos, subscribing to the channel, that's helpful. Buy me a coffee, or in this case, buying me an energy drink. It's about the same cost. Might actually be cheaper for the energy drinks. But I want to thank everybody for being here. God bless everyone. And those in California, people, we are concerned about you there and anywhere where there's been disasters, but especially right now in California. Our thoughts and our prayers, our earnest, heartfelt prayers go out to you. What they say about prayer for the skeptics is, prayer doesn't always change things, but it does change you for things. So that's important because there's a lot of work to do. So let's get busy.